demon offense that we all knew was coming is starting to come into fruition. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys offense had probably their most impressive day of all the training camp today as Dak hit his newly acquired wide receiver George Pickens multiple times for touchdowns in the end zone. CeeDee Lamb got in the mix. The Jonathan Mingo fan club is looking alive and well. And the Cowboys, they may have found another hidden gem by way of an undrafted free agent who seriously started to make some noise at training camp. Let's get into today's show as we recap the latest on all things Dallas Cowboys training camp. And be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content just like this. Man, shut your up. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today is all about the offense, man. This is going to be the Dak Prescott and George Pickens show as Dak and George Pickens are finally starting to cook, and the weapons that the Cowboys have accumulated are really starting to rear their heads, whether it be the wide receivers like George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, obviously, but then you have guys like Jonathan Mingo coming on strong. Kevontae Turpin still making more and more plays with more opportunity given in this Brian Schottenheimer offense. And you have undrafted wide receiver Trashan Holden really starting to take a hold on that competition for that wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 spot. And that's not even mentioning the bevy of running backs the Cowboys are trying to sort through right now, is they have quite a few guys that are competing at a high level, be named the starter at that position. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, this may be a good problem to have, but I have no clue, and I mean no clue, on who could possibly end up actually winning that battle. But what we are going to do is we're going to talk about what we've seen so far today and some of the things that's been being discussed as it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys training camp thus far. Now, obviously, George Pickens, he caught, I think, like 3 touchdowns today or something like that. Obviously, here's one in the back of the end zone right here. A little bit of toe tap swag action right here, and I actually really like this play in particular because Dak Prescott's ball placement on this one was supreme, because if he throws this ball, it's right here. If he throws it over here and try to lead George Pickens to that back pylon, or if he throws it anywhere else but where it is, Kyer Elam is going to have an excellent shot at taking this ball away. So if you actually see how this plays out, if he would have located that anywhere else, then it likely would have been an incompletion or worse. So really good ball placement right there from Dak. An excellent finish on the play from George Pickens, and he kind of displays some of that body control right here. Ball's behind him. He's going to stop on the spot, reach behind him, and again, that's where some of that catch radius comes into play. And then make sure he gets both hands down, secure the catch, and that's exactly what you want to see from a George Pickens. Now, we discussed rookie Trashan Holden as well. Here's one of his highlights from today's practice. And, man, Trashan Holden is somebody we may want to acquaint ourselves with, because I'm not going to lie, man. The young man keep making these type of plays where he's showing that he can get his feet down, he can make a catch contested, finish through contact, and that's not the only play he made today. Like I said, bro, he's going to start making it real difficult on some of the other guys that's battling for that wide receiver spot on the roster. Here's another one, and this one was probably the most impressive one in my opinion, because he actually fought through a lot on this play and still was able to make the play and finish the play. You can see Israel Mukuamu was matched up on him, jams him at the line of scrimmage, kind of throws him off balance, stumbles, then is able to get up, make that catch. He was out of bounds, however, so he allowed himself to kind of get pushed a little bit too far or too close to the sideline. But just the ability to kind of be able to fight through that and still be able to get up, make a catch on a bigger defender. Really like that. Just got to make sure you keep better position on the actual field. Here's the play right here for me that solidifies Jonathan Mingo as wide receiver 3 on the roster, even over Kevontae Turpin. I love Turpin as a gadget guy, but here's the play that's going to solidify a guy like a Jonathan Mingo for me. Take a look at this play that he made on Troy Pride Jr. Had to decelerate a little bit to wait on the ball. That big body. Look how the big body comes into play. This is why you look at guys like Jonathan Mingo and you say, if you can get what you're supposed to get out of him athletically speaking, he can absolutely be a weapon on the field. His body by itself is going to help and assist him be able to make these type of catches right here, y'all. Troy Pride can't even get around this dude. He decelerated, caught the ball with his hands, and not only that, went down to the ground with the ball while Troy Pride is actually contesting the ball damn well. He's trying to break that triangle. He's contesting the ball damn well. Man, Jonathan Mingo didn't let that mug go, bro. This right here to me, this is something that there's not another guy on our roster not named George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb. I don't think any other guy on our roster can make that type of catch under that type of pressure and finish the play while going to the ground contested like that. Jonathan Mingo, bruh. The Mingo fan club is alive and well, and y'all are starting to kind of see the accumulation of weapons that the Cowboys have right here. Again, we're not going to leave Turp out on this party. Turpin got loose for a long touchdown as well. Dak and that deep ball they was on point today, man. Dak was on point with the deep ball today, and many guys out there at training camp are reporting that Dak looks like he's starting to get a lot more comfortable with Brian Schottenheimer's offense. So this is a welcome sight to see. If we can start getting some easy scores like this and not have to go through those 12, 15-play drives to actually score, then that's a huge win for the Cowboys offense. We got another Trashan Holden play right here from Joe Milton I want to show you guys because, again, this kind of showcases that the undrafted rookie, man, he's out here balling and he's out here competing and he's trying to make sure he gets himself a roster spot. You're going to see, of course, the ball here. He's in the middle of the field, takes a good angle, and right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. So good yard after the catch. Good run after the catch right there. Trashan Holden, again, making plays at training camp. We're about to get into a little bit of more George Pickens action right here. This is going to be GP from Dak Prescott. Another deep ball. George Pickens beat Deron Bland on that play. Easy money. Easy touchdown right there. he hit the clean celebration, bro. He hit the lead with it, rock with it. I'm rocking with it, GP. Why you shiesty, man? Why you shiesty? But again, this right here has me excited, y'all. All these catches, all these weapons that we're actually seeing on the field, man. These dudes that are capable of making plays, making explosive plays. Man, it's starting to get my underwear a little tight, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Here we go again. This one's Dak Prescott to Jonathan Mingo. So you can see that Jonathan Mingo is clearly practicing with the ones at certain times. Was able to make that catch going to the ground. So he showed you where he can kind of high point a football that's contested, and he showed you he has the ability to go to the ground to get a catch. And this right here is kind of showcasing the catch radius that you have in your wide receiver 3, ladies and gentlemen. Another George Pickens showcase right here. And just a side note real quick. Just a side note on this one. Man, look at Mozzie Smith. Look at Mozzie Smith. First of all, George Pickens, great catch in the back of the end zone. Great catch in the back of the end zone. But y'all, look at Mozzie Smith on his play right here, bro. I'm not trying to pick on Mozzie, but damn, bro. Look at Mozzie on this play. The ball is going to be snapped. And Mozzie's right here. He's right here where my mouse is circling at. Please pay attention to what happens right here on this play, y'all. Ball is snapped. Boom, comes out his stance. And this is not Tyler Smith over here, by the way. This is not Tyler Smith. I think that might be actually Brock Hoffman or somebody. Man, Mozzie didn't go nowhere. I mean, absolutely nowhere, bro. It don't even look like offensive linemen were trying on that one. But again, another really good completion of George Pickens. You see they're kind of getting comfortable. They're doing some red zone work, and they're getting comfortable trying to convert those red zone plays like that. In addition to all this, Brian Schottenheimer did name some of the guys that are having the biggest impact or making the biggest impression on him thus far throughout training camp, specifically guys that he didn't have on his radar. He brought up Kevontae Turpin, the running back and offensive line room as a whole. Both starting safeties, Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, are apparently having a good camp so far. Kyer Elam, we've heard his name a whole bunch. Maris Leofau, we've heard his name a lot. Troy Pride Jr. is a cornerback we're starting to hear a little bit from. And my guy, Zion Childress. All right, so I think that Shotty kind of pointing out some of these guys lets us know a couple of things. For one, we may not see any movement as it pertains to our starting safeties this season. I'm going to be completely real with y'all. I don't know if Wanye or any of those guys are making a big enough splash to where they're putting pressure on these other guys, and I think Wanye is actually hurt right now, so that really hurts his case as it pertains to trying to get that starting position. Zion Childress' name being on here, I expect that. Maris Leofau, I expected that. The running back room is very, very convoluted right now. It's going to be kind of a difficult one to read, and so we're going to have to continue to keep our eye as training camp progresses. But yeah, today to me was all about Dak Prescott, his weapons. Obviously, Donovan Ezeraiku flashed again today multiple times. The dude's get off, his speed, his quickness, his bend, all that stuff is just very, very noticeable. Nate Thomas had a pretty solid day at left tackle, subbing in for Tyler Guyton. But by and large, this was the Mingo, George Pickens, Trashan Holden day. All right, that's what I'm calling it, at least. Because to me, those are probably the biggest takeaways from the day is how well that receiver group played, or at least that group of receivers played. But either way, Tyler Smith did leave practice with some knee tendonitis. Nothing to be concerned about there too much. But either way, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What was your biggest takeaway so far from training camp, and how it will count?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Woo, oh, shut up, my boy. Hey, I'm still them boys.